Is Neil Quilliam, Associate Fellow of the Middle East and North Africa Program at Chatham House. Welcome, Neil. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we're hearing about heavy targeting of Iranian oil infrastructure. And also we got an update from Iran's Red Crescent today, which says 65 schools and 32 medical facilities, hospitals and pharmacies have been targeted in the war. Why do you think civilian sites are being attacked?
I'm not sure that they're being deliberately attacked, but there's certainly, to use the term, sort of collateral damage in the strikes against these sort of IRGC targets. So, I mean, I only know of one attack on the school, the one that we heard from last week, where over 160 children were killed. I haven't seen or heard these figures that you're just revealing to me, but I would, say with very strong confidence that they're not deliberate targets.
Let's talk about Ali Khamenei's successor. Word that a new successor has been chosen. Also, Donald Trump reacting to that, saying he won't last long. What are your thoughts? How might this all play out?
I'm not sure that they're going to reveal who the successor is for some time because, I mean, he's #1 on the hit list. So certainly Israel's going to go after him, or the Americans are going to go after him. So I'm not sure that they're going to want to, unveil or reveal who that figure actually will be. But I think the one thing we know is that, I mean, for the Iranians, it's important to show that there is continuity, that there is sort of institutional integrity despite, sustaining these 9 days of very severe attacks. But as we saw with Hezbollah in Lebanon, it looks like the Israelis and the Americans will be able to get to whoever they want to and have very good sort of intel on the ground. So whoever that successor is, I doubt that they're going to survive very long as soon as their identity becomes known.
Speaking of on the ground, Trump last night, for the first time, did not rule out sending ground troops to Iran, but only for good reason, he says. Your thoughts? Do you see this happening, especially with upcoming midterms and polls showing that the majority of U.S. citizens don't support this war?
No, I mean, it's very hard to imagine that the U.S. would commit ground troops to this, to this war at the moment, given the reasons you've just mentioned. It doesn't fit with the MAGA base. Midterms are coming up, and lessons. One would hope that lessons have been learned from Iraq, from Libya, from other theaters. But the one thing we do know about Donald Trump is that we don't know what he's going to do next. So, there is that outlying possibility that he could make that decision to commit ground troops. But from where I'm sitting, from looking at the developments on the ground, it seems highly unlikely that he would really commit that. I'm sure, special forces are operating on the ground and are carrying out, activities sort of behind enemy lines, as it were. But actually committing ground troops would be a huge development in this, and I very much doubt that it's going to happen. I think it's probably just part of Donald Trump's sort of mind games. He likes to come out with these sort of slightly outrageous comments, and I suspect it sort of fits within that.
Do you think the U.S. and Israel's objectives can be achieved without the use of ground troops?
I mean, it's really not clear still what those objectives are, but if those objectives are regime change, then no. I mean, our Prime Minister here, the UK, has said quite a few times, you cannot affect regime change from the air. So I don't think those objectives would be achieved. But I'm not sure that regime change really is the objective. I think perhaps it's more about breaking Iran, degrading Iran as best as those powers can do, and then claiming that's success after sort of setting back or destroying or annihilating the nuclear program, setting back and destroying the ballistic missile programs, and also sort of defanging the axis of resistance. I think that will be enough, and then I think the Israelis and the Americans will probably walk away and leave that mess for the Iranians and the region just to sort of work out.
We heard from former U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton, who says the objective should be regime change. Do you agree?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't concur with that. the Iranians should be allowed to choose whoever they want, to govern the country. How I would describe what we're seeing at the moment is sort of do-it-yourself regime change, DIY regime change. Whereas I think that the goal is to sort of decapitate the system, and then hope, foment, support, maybe materially the opposition to come through. But there is no united opposition to sort of overthrow this regime. So I don't think the goal of regime change is right at all.
Very interesting chat. We will have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time, sir.